That startled me. Anyway, now that I've cleared out this obnoxious section and have saved, I feel comfortable saying good day to you and welcome back to Diablo. I realize it's been a long time since I updated this LP, and for that I apologize, but, you know, if it's not one thing, it's another thing, and my conditions have just not been conducive to LPing lately. But I've got my voice back, my schedule is clear, so I am going to record like hell this weekend. And the first thing I'm going to do is Diablo. So now we've got this annoying big open area here, so what I really need to do is spam these staves. I've been getting really lucky with staff drops, but the problem with this game so far is that I haven't gotten any spell books. Like, I'm still... the only regular spell I can cast is that level 2 Firebolt spell that you start out with by prerequisite as a sorcerer. And that is uncommon. So, I mean, if you look at my minimap, I could go this way, you know, because there's probably not a big, gigantic open space like this there. But I figure this area and me have got a personal vendetta to settle, and I am going to take this out, albeit much more slowly than I was doing before, because what I was worried about before really was boring y'all. But I think, you know, if you're watching this, you're okay with me taking a little time, because that's what Diablo is really, especially when you're watching, well, not watching, but especially when you're playing as a sorcerer. And I don't want these things to eat me. Yeah, especially when you're playing as a sorcerer, you need to take it real slow. It's not like you're the warrior where you can just hack through everything, or you're the rogue and you just stand in the doorway. I thought I used that healing scroll. How odd. I must have done something wrong. Anyway, since I do need healing and I am out of spells, I mean, not spells, you know what I mean, I will use my staff. And now I'm going to switch to my staff of Firebolt to take out these irritating archers. The reason I'm going to do that is just, A, because I don't want to waste too much mana, and I don't have to on these guys. Because, see, as you can see, I still have 54 charges on that thing. Also, it's much more accurate than the charged bolt.
I have no room.
It's basically just the most surefire way that I'll get rid of those things as efficiently as possible. Let's see. What do you mean I have no room? I can equip it, you idiot. Here we go. What I want to do is build this up to at least 1,000 gold here, because that is the lowest amount of money that it can possibly take to buy a spell book from Adria the Witch. And seeing as spell books are kind of in rare supply, especially in the early levels, Adria is like a key source of buying spellbooks. But what we want to do right now is we have this quest, the Butcher. And I happen to know, because of my cheating already played the game before ways, that I am going to die unless I heal right now. There we go. That's what happened. I was moving when I cast that heal scroll, so it effectively did nothing. That's the problem with a healing spell as opposed to healing potions. Potions you can take instantly. Healing spells, you have to have time to cast them. So if you're surrounded, they're not as great of something to have at your disposal. Also, fiends are ridiculously easy to kill, and so are carvers. So I'm not going to waste any of my magic right now. Plague Eaters, kind of a different story because they have good defense, and therefore they're much more difficult to hit. But they have no magic resistances, so really I should just be not wasting my Firebolt staff on these fiends. Also, if you ever see them die after hitting me, it's because, as you may remember, I have these Rags of Thorns on, which I really should go back up to town and repair them, but I don't feel like spending my time doing that at the moment. Maybe when I come back around to hit that other door. Probably do it then. What's in here? Good, great. More Plague Eaters. Let me actually use some of my mana, because I did level up, and that refills one's orbs. I think I'm also going to put a couple points into magic. I know by a lot of people's game plans, putting points into magic is a waste, and for Diablo 2 I agree. But with Diablo 1, it's a little bit different. You want to build up your mana pool, especially since all of the classes have actual caps. We have a bookcase. We have a bookcase. And we have a book.
Where
and
would I put this?
Is a book of Holy Bolt. I don't care where you would put this. Let me just drop this. Holy Bolt is a very good spell early on. It's not one that you want to increase more than 1 or 2 levels. Like, you don't want to go out of your way to in any case. There's no real reason not to if you get the book. But, you know, it, let me just put it on a hotkey. What am I not using? I don't think I'm using F7. I'll use that. Holy Bolt is a spell that only works against the undead, but does massive damage to them. So that's something that I'll be able to use quite effectively against, like, skeleton archers, for example. If I'd had that against that horde of skeleton archers, it would have been a lot easier. I also seem to recall it not costing all that much mana. But, oh, I have to go in here to see it. How much does this cost? Oh, I have to unequip the staff. That's a little dumb. Okay, it costs a little bit more than a Firebolt spell, but as you can see, it does... Why am I pointing at the screen? I should use this cursor. It does way more damage at level 1 than Firebolt even does at level 2. So it's definitely nice to have, but really only in the earlier levels when you're being barraged with so many of them. Oh my god.
Where would I
just got another staff. Okay, I really need to go up to town and identify some shit, so... And get my rags... The word isn't healed, but I think you know what I mean. Recharged, that's it. No, that's a staff term. Repaired, that's it. So, I will meet you... I'll leave that here, although I'm going to want it eventually. And I will meet you back up in Tristram after I kill this guy. Oh, shit. Or maybe just kind of run, because I need health. Yeah, meet you up there. When will I get a Book of Town portal? Alright, we're back in Tristram, and if I'm not mistaken, I may or may not be getting another quest around this point. I might have to go down to level 3 to get it, and I don't quite remember who gives it. It's either Ogden or Pepin. Let me just talk to...
The village needs your help,
there we go.
Master. Some months ago, King Leoric's son, Prince Albert, was kidnapped. The king went into a rage and scoured the village for his missing child. With each passing day, Leoric seemed to slip deeper into madness. He sought to blame innocent townsfolk for the boy's disappearance and had them brutally executed. Less than half of us survived his insanity. The king's knights and priests tried to placate him, but he turned against them and, sadly, they were forced to kill him. With his dying breath, the king called down a terrible curse upon his former followers. He vowed that they would serve him in darkness forever. This is where things take an even darker twist than I thought possible. Our former king has risen from his eternal sleep and now commands a legion of undead minions within the labyrinth. His body was buried in a tomb 3 levels beneath the cathedral. Please, good master, put his soul at ease by destroying his now cursed form.
Alright, so we have a new quest before even completing our first quest. Wonderful. Now, what I'm gonna do for quests is... I'm not gonna talk to all the townsfolk about Leoric right now, because it's not currently relevant. But once I finish the Butcher, the way I'm gonna go about this LP is quest by quest. So, once I finish the Butcher, I'll take a little time off, and... well, I mean... a brief respite within the LP, if you will, by talking to all the townsfolk about the next quest I'm going to do. And I'm just going to sort of do that in order as the situation sort of calls for. But for now, we're going to focus on the Butcher. Just keep that King Leoric quest in mind. Anyway. Oh, damn. I've got just barely 1,000... well, I'm going to be selling stuff anyway.
Stay a while and listen.
Okay. Let me save in case any of this equipment is shit.
Stay a while and listen.
Because if it has bonuses like that, I can sell it to Griswold and make a profit. And yeah, both of those are good. I can make a profit. And let's see what this is. Ooh. Now this is an interesting one, because this doesn't give me... I might want that. How much mana do I have? Yeah, only 86. That would put me over 100. I think I'm going to use that. And plus it has quick attack. Yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm going to... well, we'll see what I have the money for.
Whoa,
it all depends... what I'm going to do all kind of depends on... what Adria has for sale and whether I can afford it or not. Let's see, do I really need... no, I can sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that. I actually didn't turn a profit on some of those things, but I really don't care. I came close enough. I turned a profit on the whole. I have almost 1,200 gold now. I'm sorry, I'm just listening to the awesome music. This game has such a good soundtrack.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
More in search of books. Do you have... oh, you would have Mana Shield now. See, I could abuse the game and save in front of her and then load again and she would have a completely different inventory. But I don't really feel like doing that. I feel like that's cheap. But Mana Shield is the best spell in the game. I'll get to that much later. It's very expensive and only drops in the lower levels of the labyrinth. Other than that, you have nothing I want or need, so I might as well just recharge my staves. I'm considering selling the Staff of Firebolt, in which case I wouldn't need to recharge it. I know I'm gonna need Healing and Charge Bolt. Yeah, might as well. You start... the money really starts rolling in after a while, and you don't really need it. And she doesn't have any books now that I can buy. If she ever gets some, then I will do whatever is in my power to get that money. Alright. That was a little stupid. I'm gonna pick up some healing potions, but in any case, that's all I really needed to do up here, so I will meet you back in level 2 of the labyrinth. Alright, since I've already been the other way, and I know that way contains the stairs, there's really no reason to go back that way and then double back to clear this area out. So I am going to go this way. Ah! My quick attack is actually pretty nice. And there's a bunch of big fat nothing, so I'm glad I didn't double all the way back here just to clear out that useless room. I also picked up a Scroll of Lightning, which I may use in cases where there just so happens to be enemies all standing in a long line. Never fear, I will demonstrate every spell in the game at least once. That is my goal. Or at least every one I can get my hands on, if that doesn't end up being every one. Because I do want to make this LP as informative as possible. Because, yeah, that's how I want to do this game. So sue me.